we've been going through all this, and one of my favorite things about you is that you can go small and you can go deep, but you can also go wide. And your big picture view is always so interesting to listen to. Where are we at right now?
Yeah, the a lot of it is energy and vibe and feeling it, and the cosmic shift when that happened, when that was already forming, of course. When Charlie died, it crystallized a moment for everybody that it seems trite, right? Like, I'm getting up there in years now. When you're younger, the people be like, oh, tomorrow's not promised. You could die any day. And you're just like, shut up, old man, get out. What are you talking about? Right. And then a lot of people, especially young people, realize like, oh, wow, this is true. This is a guy that I was just watching and he's gone and he had everything going for him. The next moment isn't promised for me at all. So we have all this debate about, is AI going to take the jobs, and is this, and the techno-gnosis forming and everything else. But you're going to die. You're going to die. One, are you prepared to meet Christ? Are you prepared for the judgment day? I think is a question that a lot of people were having. But it's easy. The way the devil tricks us, I read this great little Orthodox fable where I'm not going to repeat the whole story, but it's like the Aesop packaging wrap up, and the devil gets us with our curiosity. Oh yeah, go read that book on Buddhism and go read that book on Christianity and
try that out.
What flavor of Protestantism do you want? And well, maybe that's flawed. What about Catholicism? What about Orthodoxy? And you're endlessly lost in curiosity, and that's where the devil keeps you.
Fruit of the tree of knowledge.
Yeah, because you're there and you feel like you're making traction, but you're actually not. You're spinning your wheels, and then boom, you're dead. And now it's judgment, right? And I think a lot of us, myself included, are reminded that judgment day is coming for all of us. It came for Charlie Kirk, who's a better person than I was. I'm not going to even pretend that isn't true.
Best of all of us.
So getting your soul right, I think, is the big picture. A lot of people realize that's why churches were full. Our friends volunteered at church, and they said, you better get here early. It's been like...
It was like Easter Sunday.
Yeah. So, and the religious thing, get your soul right. And I don't get into this. I don't get into ecumenicalism. I'm not going to say everything's right. I don't get into what is right. I always say you go to church and figure it out for yourself. I'm not here to do Christian apologetics, but judgment day is coming quicker than you know. Antichrist is already here, right? Everybody's obsessed with prophecies and all these is here. Antichrist is here. Judgment day is coming. When? You don't know. The second thing that I think a lot of people realized was that you need to have ambition in life. You need to do things in life. Also because of the death. Josiah Trenum had a great homily on death with Tucker that I think the Orthodox Christians and Catholics do well, even though it's called like idolatry, because it's not, because they're like, oh, why do they have these pictures of the dead? We as a culture have become in denial of our physical death of our physical bodies and a denial of our soul. So we live, especially if you live in suburbia. Oh, I got a cool life. I walk into air-conditioned studio from an air-conditioned car. I barely even break a sweat in the day. I don't even go to the gym. I'm hungry. I eat what I want. And we're living in denial of deprivation. We're not fasting. We're living in denial of death. And the Charlie Kirk thing shook everybody. You're going to die. And that's something that, again, it could sound trite if you're younger. Oh, shut up, old man, or whatever. But you are going to die, so you do need to face the judgment of God. And then secondly, as your soul is departing the body, as you're floating away, what's that moment going to be like for you? Are you going to think, you know what? I left an impact on this world. I did things. Like I was here on a spiritual journey from God. My soul was embodied.
A spiritual test.
A test. And I worked to sanctify my soul, which people can read my Twitter and think, oh, what do you do? Hey, man, I'm not trying to claim. I'm saying go to the priest. I'm not the priest. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, I read you and I know it. And I completely understand. That's my own struggle, too. That's my own struggle against my own sins and vices and everything else. But it is a good reminder, like, oh, am I leaning into pride too much? Am I leaning into ego too much? Because you can have a militancy about you and a warrior aspect about you, but it has to be for a higher cause, and that's the sublimation of ego. So that's what Charlie did. Charlie built up all of these big things, not to glorify himself or to create an idol of himself, but to glorify
No, it wasn't
God.
Charlie Kirk USA.
It was to glorify God, though.
Yes.
Even more deeper than Turning Point, or even more deeper than the country.
Well, and when you go back, and Andrew Colvette's been talking about this too. When you go back and watch these, it was billed as like a political debate, but then when you're going to watch it, you say, wait a minute, he's slipping Christ in there as much as possible, and every question he turns it back to that. So it was like a black op, right? It was like special operations, get everyone together, and that's the boom, hit him with the gospel, boom, hit him with the word, boom, hit him with this. It was like a secret revival happening right in front of our eyes.
Revival is great, and I think the other bigger, the bigger macro trend, I think on the micro, everybody is realizing memento mori. You need to meditate on your death the way the samurai did, not as in a negative thing to feel.
The way of the Bushido, the first step is your step towards death.
Every day I meditate on death. Every day I imagine 1,000 arrows be thrust into me, right? Every day you meditate on death. And if you're not of a spiritual mind, you think, well, that sounds morbid, but I think it's the opposite. Charlie meditated on death often.
Yes.
People think, oh, no, meditation on death does not mean you're dreading death. You're just waking up every day that I could be struck down today. And I think the geopolitical trend, at least within America and American Christians, is recognizing that there was a inversion of morality to where somehow we had given the left moral authority. We'd allowed them to scold us. Oh, don't fire Jimmy Kimmel. What about they weaponize little slivers of Christianity, but they're going to kill you, dude. The people telling you how to express your Christianity and how to live your values and how to create it, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you, and then they're going to piss on your grave. They're going to mock your children. They're going to wish that terrible things happen to them. This is the evil that you're up against. So in what world do you let these Decepticons, these subversives, these people who are clearly tools of the demon, make you feel insecure about how you express your Christianity? When that's what they want for you. So you see this now happening, especially in the conservative Christian right, where they go, dude, they killed Charlie. I don't want to hear you meddlers. I don't want to hear you scallywags. I don't want you common scolds telling us how we need to live and how we need to express our Christianity and how we need to build America, because
unity. You need unity.
You know who brings unity? The Father.
Yes.
Dad says, I'm in charge.
Yes.
I love you, and I'm going to raise you and look out for you, but I'm the dad.
And that's a father's,
and you're the kids.
A father's love is correction of error.